Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of the Console Log. This is episode 35, the week of May 7th through May 13th. This past week was my first week back at work after being on paternity leave for the past month, and I must tell you honestly that having a child and also working full-time is exhausting. I was very tired this past week. Also, this past week was the first time I looked at any React code or JavaScript code in general for a month. And it was definitely a little bit of cognitive see, I can't even talk anymore. Very confusing to see code for the first time in a month because I had just been staring at diapers and poop. And that is not something that you can actually program. But enough about me. Let's tell you a little bit about what happened this past week in the world of JavaScript right now. First news item of the week is this thing called React. You might have heard of this framework. I've talked about in the past episode, they're working on this new feature of React called React Suspense. And they've been developing it, it's been in a PR. But the past week, the big exciting thing around this is that the PR for React Suspense was actually merged into master itself, which means that it is on its way to being actually pushed out into the wider React world. In case you don't know what React Suspense is, it's going to be a way of handling asynchronous data in your React component. The way that I like to actually describe it is it kind of smooths out the weirdness of handling asynchronous behavior, allowing you to actually write asynchronous code in a synchronous manner. I'm not going to delve into it too much because this is a big topic. It's still being ironed out by the React team itself, but I did talk about it in a previous episode. If you're curious about to hear what it's actually about, the link's down below about the React Suspense if you want to delve deeper into that. But it's exciting that it's now in master itself, which means that eventually soon, later this year, it'll actually be used in your applications everywhere. Firefox this past week had a new version, number 60. Firefox version is 60. I still think it's very odd that these numbers increase so rapidly, but that's besides the point. The big exciting introduction feature in Firefox 60 is that ECMAScript 2015 modules have been now enabled by default in Firefox 60. It's not everywhere, but in Firefox 60, if you actually want to use ES modules, you can. ES modules being the import-export syntax, so along with having the ability to actually write ECMAScript modules with Firefox, you actually use import-export because that's how you actually write modules. But you can actually write in your HTML code a script tag with a source of the actual entry file and a type of module, and Firefox knows what to do about that. That's pretty cool. And of course, if you do want to support browsers that don't yet support ES modules, you can use no module, and that'll do a fallback to actually go back to the old behavior where if you bundle it with Webpack or Parcel or whatever you have to actually have it be backwards compatible. But it's cool that this is coming, still very much bleeding edge. I would not suggest you have that in your production application because it might not work for everybody, but if you do want to play with a little side project, that's definitely a very cool thing to do. NPM this last week had a good blog post about a new feature that's coming out in NPM 6, and it's actually already out because NPM 6 is already out, but it's also in NPM 5.10, the latest version of the NPM branch. It is this tool called NPM Audit. I actually had a tweet about this past week, which got a lot of retweets. My phone kept blinging. My wife was like, "Why is your phone making noise?" And I was like, "Twitter." And she understands what that means. The cool thing about NPM Audit is that you can actually run this tool, this new command, and actually go through all of your package dependencies and tell you which ones might have security vulnerabilities and how to fix that. And this is an awesome next step in making sure that developers are aware of where their dependencies actually might expose them to security vulnerabilities. So this is cool, this is free, which is also incredible. NPM actually acquired a company that has some of this information. Now it's just giving that information away for free. If you are a pro developer of NPM, if you are a paid user of NPM, you get a little bit more advanced notice, but still, this all comes down to the wider community at large. It's just amazing that this is for free, and it's also such a good thing for the community. It's cool seeing the output. I would recommend you do it. Upgrade to latest 5.10 or go upgrade to NPM 6 to actually just run NPM Audit. You'll see the list of all the things that you otherwise had no idea about. So it's very cool to see that. Thank you, NPM. That was very kind of you. Very good netizens of the internet being kind and sharing this knowledge that you have stored away in your databases of information. VS Code is my favorite editor, and they've had this new extension being developed in a private beta for the past couple weeks, this Visual Studio Live Share. And the cool thing about VS Live Share is that you can actually have a live coding session with somebody remotely and actually have that exist entirely within your VS Code editor. And the big news this past week is that it is now available for free for everyone. So if you are a remote worker or you just want to collaborate with somebody, you can actually now download this extension and open this link and actually have this live collaborative session with somebody and do pair programming, not next to each other, but just through the internet. I've tried it out. It's very cool. It works. I want to try it out more because it's just a very unique way of actually coding. But if you were not in the private beta before, it's now available for free. So download, install, sign in, and share. Cool. Cool. And last but not least, but the most fun news of this past week is that there was the Emoji draft candidates for 2019 has some new updates this past week. There was 104 proposed emoji candidates that have now advanced to the draft candidate status. I don't really know what all these statuses mean, but it means that some of the emojis that have been proposed are now actually on another step towards becoming part of the emoji list of the Unicode 12.0, which will be out in 2019 quarter 1 of next year. So by the time you have your new iPhone, you can upgrade iOS to get these new emojis. So the cool emojis that are included in here is mechanical arm, mechanical leg, which is very cool. Some new animals you can actually share to your friends now. Well, not now, when it actually comes out. Sloth, because whenever you're feeling like you just want to sit at home because it's raining outside, you just want to kick back, sloth is the perfect way to express that, because they like to watch TV. That's why. Otter, because you can make good jokes about otters. Orangutan, skunk, and flamingo, for when you're feeling like you gotta stand in water very tall. And of course, if you're into music, there's a banjo, and there's other more things as well, but check it out. Very cool to see that it is adding more ways to express yourself in emoji, because that is exactly going to be the language that we will all speak in the future, because who needs words and grammar when you have emojis and pictures? It's just civilization make a whole, you know, what is old is new. We had cave paintings, then we had language, we're going back to cave paintings. Gotta love emojis. And that was your Week of Links, the console log episode number 35. 35 times we've done this. Hope you had some good information that you learned from this past week. I'm still getting back to the swing of things. Having a child and actually doing this as well is hard. I'm trying to make other videos as well, more in-depth guides, tutorials. That's going to be a little bit more of a process to get that up and running because it does take more time and I have less of it every week. But I hope you had a good week this past week. I hope you have a good week coming up, and I will see you again next Monday. Bye-bye.